So, how do we stay real in a fake world? Let me tell you about something that happened which explains what I'm talking about here. So, I had a fraudulent transaction on my credit card, and I went to the bank to tell them about it. And this is the response I got from the bank person. She said, "Awesome!" So let me just repeat that. I said to the lady, I'm here to report a fraudulent transaction on my bank account. And she said, "Awesome." And did you use this card? Awesome. Did you use that card? Awesome. So we are so programmed to respond in a certain way that everything is like robotic and not real. And so it made me think that I believe that this is what we're going to see more and more of in terms of difference between 3D and moving towards a higher dimensional frequency of 4D. So in the 3D world, everything is very robotic, everything is very programmed, everything is very like this is the way you respond when you get a question like this. So if somebody says, "Do you like my haircut?" It's like, "Yeah, it's beautiful," even if you don't like it. So we are programmed to say certain things and be a certain way so that other people around us can feel safe about themselves and their circumstances. But what we are called to do more than ever is to get real about who we are, how we're feeling. And we don't have to say it in a way that is offensive, but we can still be real. And going back to that example about the bank, I mean, was she actually even thinking what she was saying? No, she was on her default pattern of saying "awesome" every time a customer said something to her. It doesn't make sense to say "awesome" when someone is saying, "I've just had a fraudulent transaction on my account." The more real response is, "Oh, you know, I'm so sorry this has happened to you. Let's see how I can support you." That would have been the more real response. And so what I'm asking you to do is perhaps start to notice when people are not real, because you can feel it. There's like an awkwardness about it when people are not real, when they're saying something but they don't mean it. Another example was I caught up with a bunch of people on the weekend at the Gold Coast, and two of the ladies I had only just met. And as soon as they came, I was staying with a friend at a friend's house, and as soon as they came, I said, "Can I make you a cup of tea?" And they were like, "No, no, no, it's okay. You don't need to make us a cup of tea. We'll make our own." And I'm like, "No, it's okay. I really, really would like to do this for you." And then they relaxed and they allowed me to serve them. And then when we talked about that later, what they said was that they felt my authenticity, that I wasn't just saying it. I wasn't just saying, "Oh, do you want me to make you a cup of tea?" But not really wanting to do it. I actually really wanted to make something for them and give them something nourishing to drink. So how real are we when we have conversations, or are we still doing the 3D thing of responding in a certain way, saying things in a certain way, and yet who we really are is so much deeper than that. Who we really are so much deeper than that. So we need to connect in. I know that every time I do my podcast, before we start with any guests, because at the beginning, it's before we press record, it's always like, okay, make sure that you don't have any other apps on, make sure there's no noise in the background, is your light okay? And I don't want to start with that energy. So I always start with the energy of, okay, let's just close our eyes, let's connect to the deeper truth of what we're trying to share here with our audience, so that it comes from our heart, and we let all the busy of the world just leave us and just go away. And when we start from that premise, then we're authentic and people can feel our authenticity. So we'd really love to hear your opinion on what I'm sharing here today. So we're in a fake world and our mission is to get real. And so start watching yourself, start observing yourself every time you say something but you don't really believe it. Every time you say something to make somebody else feel safe but you don't really believe it. Every time you say something just to keep any conflict from arising. That's not being real. And this is what it's all about now. We've got to step up and be real. Who are we? Make sure that our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions are all aligned. Because when our thoughts, feelings, actions are all aligned, that's when we repel dis-ease. That's when we are healthy. So, yeah, would love your thoughts on everything I shared here today. Please like this channel because I'm going to be coming more often to share real stuff, real talk, real stories. Sending you so much love.